I'm an Overwatch coach, and I found out that multiple Echo players have problems when looking to engage on the enemy. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about some aspects of decisions, positioning, and flight usage, which can improve your engagement flow as Echo. What engagement flow is? It's doing initial scouting, setup, scouting again, and then engaging. Scouting is important because it allows to get information which helps to think ahead about what to do, what your positioning will be, instead of getting surprised about the info which you didn't see or thought about and panicking because of it. Doing proper setup in engagement is crucial because it helps to control the map better, force out resources, and get kills. First of all, it's a common mistake for players to not think ahead about what their position will be. It's a usual mistake to autopilot and go with a team, which makes good setup and engagement not possible, because enemy can force you out easily. Experienced players, though, are actively looking to anticipate where the enemies might be based on their composition, map, and pressing tab before every fight to find information about characters, switches, and ultimates. That helps to execute the engagement properly. Let's look at initial scouting. A lot of players are not scouting where the enemies are accurately, and it becomes much harder to set up and search for targets, which are possible to engage because of it. Experienced players, on the other hand, in general, are trying to position on vertical angles by using their flight and maintaining height by sliding on roofs of the buildings and other similar structures, which gives them better field of view, and actively using peripheral vision to gather information on enemy positioning by looking at characters directly, visuals, sounds of their shots, and cooldowns, and if they're distracted or not. That helps with setup, engagement, and getting kills as a result. Let's talk about setup step. Pretty frequent mistake is stacking on the same angle with the team too much, which makes good engagement almost impossible. But experienced players are actively using vertical off angles. They are playing away from main core, which throws enemy aim off a lot, because an enemy is forced to move crosshair in 2 dimensions, horizontal and vertical, at the same time. Also, it splits enemy team's attention. They have to be aware of 2 or more angles at the same time, but it's a challenging task even for higher rank players, and that's why taking such off angles is increasing chances to get kills in general. Another mistake which players make is getting poked before an actual engagement. They play out in the open when looking to set up and lose too much HP, and resources are getting forced out too because of it. Experienced players tend to position in the way which saves the most of the resources though. They use corners and short range spaces to avoid getting poked too much, and even try to set up in the way which saves flight ability, so it's possible to disengage if it's needed, or try to get it back faster by sliding on the roofs. Let's discuss 2 last steps: scouting and engagement. Big problem which multiple players have is taking too long to engage, and it becomes extremely tough to win the fight because their team took too much pressure already. Or there might be completely opposite problem, where average players tend to engage too early, and as a consequence, most of the enemy pressure is on them, which leads to fast death. But experienced players tend to wait for some sort of distraction most of the time. Usually it's highly beneficial to understand if tank is being active on the field or not. When tank goes aggressive, then it creates high quality and long distraction, because tanks have defensive abilities which helps them to stay alive. To understand if tank goes aggressive and pulling enemy team's attention or not, pro players are looking at position of the tank. Yellow indicator, which tells that tank is taking damage, and look at if tanks have their defensive cooldowns on, status of armor, and HP. That helps to time engagement accurately, apply more pressure, and get kills. Another common mistake which average players make is being exposed to too many enemies and getting pressured from multiple angles, so they can engage and get kills properly because of it. Experienced players, on the other hand, are using combination of horizontal and vertical corners to their advantage, so it minimizes amount of angles and threats they deal with. In general, it's more practical to deal with one angle at a time, simply. Pro players are minimizing their hitbox as well, so it's harder to get pressured from the enemy. Ideally, they try to have most of their hitbox hidden and want to have an escape route and be able to hide behind the cover over in a few moments. As a result, doing all of this, what's been mentioned in the video, can help to improve how you engage as Echo. You will be able to get more information on the field, stay in the fight longer, and get kills at the end. Make sure to subscribe, and if you want to know about engagement flow and other concepts, then you can find me on Metafy. I do free consultations for new students and have a server where I help players for free. Check this out, really. All links in the description down below.